Listen, because this isn't the kind of truth that whispers politely. It's the kind that slaps the soul awake, like cold water on a sleepwalker's face. Integration, that's the whole game. The moment your head, your heart, and your gut start speaking the same language, you stop being a glitch in your own code. Neuroscience calls it linking prefrontal reason with limbic emotion and body intelligence. Quantum physics calls it reducing decoherence, holding more potential before collapsing into reaction. But really, it's just you learning not to flinch every time life hands you a mirror. Think of your mind like a messy lab. You've got the scientist upstairs, the kid with crayons downstairs, and the animal pacing the floor in the basement. Integration is when the scientist finally stops pretending the kid and the animal aren't part of the team. You feel that wholeness sneaking in through the cracks. Most people ignore the call. They hit snooze on their own awakening. They keep looping the same jobs, the same heartbreaks, the same elections. Different costumes, same play. Not because they're bad, because feedback loops get louder when you refuse to listen. The universe doesn't punish. It repeats until you resonate. Pain isn't cruelty. It's instruction written in a language you keep trying not to learn. But if you answer the call, really answer it, the pain starts making sense. It's still there, but it stops being senseless. You start to see every heartbreak as muscle fibre tearing before growth. Every anxiety spike as a system update downloading. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start whispering, what data did I ignore? Karma isn't cosmic vengeance. It's just physics with a conscience. Ignore the data and the loop tightens. Integrate it and the system releases pressure. You can think of it like software. Ignore the update too long. The operating system crashes. That panic attack, that's your soul screaming for a patch. Here's the fun part. 3D was the tutorial level. You came here to learn how to survive, earn the paycheck, dodge the predators, climb the social ladders. Good job, you mastered it. But now, the level's over. 5D is creative mode. It's awareness, coherence, connection. It's when you stop being a character and realise you've always been the coder. So let me give you a metaphor. Picture your life as an orchestra. In 3D, every section is tuning separately. Strings whining, brass honking, percussion banging at random. That's your survival brain, your emotions, your logic, all fighting for airtime. Integration is when the conductor, your awareness, steps onto the podium. Suddenly, every instrument knows when to come in. That's coherence. 8 billion conductors syncing their orchestras for even half a heartbeat. That's cultural rebirth. That's what people mean by the 5D renaissance. Not glowing bodies floating away, but transparent systems that finally reflect what they claim to value. And the rapture. Forget golden clouds and trumpets. It's just realization. Heaven isn't a zip code. It's a level of perception. Every neuron that fires in coherence builds it, synapse by synapse, heaven on earth isn't gifted, it's built, neuron by neuron, when awareness meets responsibility. Now let's talk honesty. 5 layers deep. First layer, what you say. Second, what you mean. Third, what you feel. Fourth, what you avoid. And fifth, what you are when the pretending stops. That's 5D. When the script burns and you speak from the bone. Every time you tell the truth that costs you something, you upgrade your reality. You already know how to do this. Every time you breathe before reacting, you're decohering less. Every time you choose curiosity over judgment, you're literally rewiring your brain. That's neuroplasticity. Spiritual folks call it awakening. Same circuit. The neuron rewires, the soul remembers. But here's the kicker. If you don't update the code consciously, the universe will crash the system until you do. The breakup, the burnout, the panic, the lost job. It's all data. You chase validation, you burn out. And you finally discover the only approval that works has to come from inside. That's the karmic algorithm. Ignore, repeat, intensify, integrate. So imagine what happens when you stop outsourcing your worth. You become a walking coherence engine. Every honest thought, every fearless act, every breath taken instead of a knee-jerk reaction. Those are neurons aligning. Timelines cleaning up. You start noticing that coincidences aren't accidents. They're the universe whispering, keep going. And if you don't, life calcifies. The loops deepen. The costumes change, but the plot doesn't. You keep calling it bad luck, when it's just outdated software. Refuse the update long enough, and the system wipes itself. You've seen it in people, stuck at the same emotional age while their bodies keep aging. That's what happens when you mistake repetition for stability. So let's chunk this down. When your mind wants to fight your heart, pause, remember. They're both electric fields. The brain's got measurable oscillations. The heart's got 10 times the amplitude. Coherence happens when their frequencies match. That's not poetry. It's biophysics. Heart-brain synchronization literally improves immune response and decision making. That's the science of grace. So the big picture, 8 billion people syncing, even for half a second, would shift planetary magnetics. Cultures would stop running on fear, because resonance beats hierarchy. Transparent systems, accountability that doesn't require control. That's how civilizations evolve, when awareness scales faster than greed. So why are people afraid of it? Because integration means no more hiding. You lose the luxury of blaming. You stop being the victim, you start being the variable. And that terrifies the ego, which thrives on conflict and applause. But the moment you stop performing, you start existing. You become what you are when the pretending stops. Confusion. It's not a bug. It's the brain's open window for change. When your old beliefs glitch, the mind becomes suggestible, ready to be rewritten. That's how growth sneaks in. That's why paradox is sacred. It pries open the neural gates. When you can hold contradiction without collapsing into certainty, you're finally multidimensional. That's higher degrees of freedom, scientifically, spiritually, existentially. So here's the invitation. Keep decohering less. Keep holding more potential before collapsing into reaction. Breathe, feel, think, integrate. Every time you do, you tilt the probability field towards sanity. Ignore it, and the loops repeat louder. Answer it. You start building heaven, neuron by neuron. The pain won't vanish, but it will start teaching instead of tormenting. That's the real miracle. The moment you realize the universe was never judging you, only waiting for you to stop pretending. So wake up, not because the world's ending, but because it's ready to begin. You're not a sinner waiting for rescue. You're consciousness pretending to be human for the thrill of remembering it's infinite. And when enough of us remember, when honesty hits critical mass, the game upgrades, Earth 5.0 installs. Heaven on Earth becomes a patch note, not a prophecy. Breathe, integrate, repeat.